Hi, everybody. It's a wee bit of alchemy. I'm Rick Barrett. Welcome. Today, I'd like to do a deep dive into the reclaiming lost territory exercises. And it's something we've done here in the past. And we're going to take it a little deeper this time. And just to give you an idea, the reclaiming lost territory are exercises I came up with, started about 30 years ago, and then they've gone through various evolutions along the way. But the primary design there was to restore joints, to unkink the hose and create more space in the joints. But there's another aspect to it, and that is that a lot of them are designed to really inculcate the basics, the fundamentals of the Taiji and how the body mechanics of Taiji, how we move that. And I like to also incorporate the stuff we've been doing recently regarding spirit, how to we want to bring mindfulness to these. Now the exercises themselves still work even if you zone out and just kind of flop around and just by the actual physical movements, they're going to do you a lot of good. But if we take it and you actually bring mindfulness to each one of them and to each part of each one of them, where you're initiating the movement, and like what we've been talking about recently, the Shen Yi Hun idea, that is the Shen idea of the initiation, the E, which is the mind and how am I doing this, and the Hun is the actual taking it in, eating the chi, and to be able to do that. And each movement can be done that way, or a whole series of movements. But the main idea here is we're bringing mindfulness to every movement. There is a participatory consciousness that's occurring. You're not just watching yourself doing these things. You are making it happen. You're there and you're creating this event for yourself. And this allows you to really circulate the energy at a very high level and to actually convert that into Shen, into spirit. So I don't think we're going to get through the whole set today, but we'll take it nice and slow and really get into what makes these things tick and what are some things to look for, kind of improve the way that you do the exercises. So please stand up and we'll explore some reclaiming lost territory. Okay, let's start off with our 3 pillars. And we want to get that really established, that shift into a superconscious state as we're doing these exercises, which will further enhance the benefits that you're going to get from them. So we'll start by feeling the 3 nails on the medial line, on the insides of your feet, along the big toe line, and the heel, the ball of the foot, and then the big toe. Feel those. And knees, you unlock your knees and allow yourself to sink. Get very sung, sink into the earth. Now shift primarily into the heel nail. So we're allowing yourself to sink into that very yin space. This allows us to access more of that water chi that we talked about last week. Since we're in the winter season and water governs the winter season, we're going to feel the watery aspect of all these exercises as well. With each breath, find yourself sinking a little deeper into your stance, into your feeling extending through your feet and into the earth. At the same time, allowing the earth chi to rise through the bubbling well points in your feet. Let that very yin energy of the earth mingle with the personal energy of your own body. Now let's establish the yang pole and reach up with the crown of the head. Tuck in the chin and open up the jade pillow gate at the base of the skull. In this way, we're accessing the yang qi of the heavens. As we do that, go into the balls of your feet. A little more and press down a little bit with your big toes. We're going to feel that yang energy as we access through the crown of the head. And even as you do that, feel yourself sinking deep into your feet. Feel that yin qi coming up through the bubbling well, and the yang qi coming down through the right hui at the top of the head. Tucking in the chin, open up the jade pillow gate, allow that Jingshen to rise and feed into your brain. Your Shen rise. Point and reach with your index fingers and feel the insubstantial effects as your body enters into a heightened state of coherence. Place the tip of your tongue and the roof of your mouth and breathe through your nose. Each breath, find yourself sinking a little deeper, at the same time reaching up with the crown. So you have these two poles in opposition. Reach out with your elbows and open up your shoulder joints. We're unkinking the hose now, so creating some energy flow, creating space in the shoulder joints. And feel that rush of qi into your hands. Feel that whole body energetic connection. What we call Taiji the Zhongtijin, which is like this sense of one body, one energy. Everything is united. You have a body, mind, spirit integration. Now let's unkink the hose in the hip joints. Just spiral down the left to the right. Left, right. Nice and easy. And want to get the hip joints doing just opening up and moving very fluidly, very watery. And back to center. You go back into your heels. Relax. Now let's do the reclaiming lost territory exercises. And the first one is you want to put your right foot forward, pick up your left heel, so that you're just on very lightly on your toe of your left foot. You want to line your body up so you're finding that central equilibrium on the inside of your foot. Okay. So just to get an idea about that, just go to the outside of your foot and notice how much more effort it takes to keep from falling over when you do that. That's because we move to the inside of the foot, we're along that center line, so it's easier to carry our body's mass. And so even as we move, we're going to want to continue there. And so the real challenge of this part of the exercise is to be able to release the quad and spiral down and turn without pushing the hip out to the side. So you want to still keep the weight centered over the inside of the foot and turn And you feel yourself nice and easy, turning very slowly. And you don't have to do it very far. The important thing is that you recognize your medial line. That is you want to feel that, because this is where the center of your body is. And so you want your foot to reflect that. If you go to the outside of your foot, then you're going to have more difficulty maintaining your center. And if we keep that going, then we keep that central equilibrium that we established in the static posture at the beginning, then we're allowing the big chi, the chi of the earth and the heavens, to circulate through us. So we're able to eat that chi as much as we can. Nice and easy. So notice the knee is not moving. So all the actions happening here from the qua. And one thing definitely not doing is not sliding to the side. You know, we don't want the jutting butt going out there. We want to keep, you notice that the outside of my hip is staying right around the base of my foot, and the inside, that my weight is centered over the inside of my foot. Now we're going to go into the back foot, into the left foot. Pick up the front heel, so you're going onto the toe of the front foot now, and it's the same idea here. And it may be a little more interesting because people tend to do this whenever they go into their back foot. So you want to keep the weight over the inside of the foot here as well. And so very slowly, easily, turn. Nice and easy. So you're turning from the quad. Your hip joints are nice and loose. They're lubricated. You want to feel that kind of watery movement back and forth. You're setting the knee so the knee is not moving at all. If we look at it from the side here, you can see the knee is not, it's not moving. Everything is spinning around that fixed relationship with my lower leg. And as you do this, you want to feel yourself getting very sung. Nice and relaxed. And start off by just sinking your weight into your heels, into that heel nail as you do that. And then as you get more comfortable with it, then you can go heel to ball to toe to ball to heel. And you can play around with where in your foot you want to place your attention, where you're going to derive your power from. And the closer you get to the big toe, the more yang the energy is. The more it gets to the heel, the more yin it is. And we primarily want to get nice and yin today, so let's keep it going with that. Nice and easy here. So notice that I'm not reaching with my arms or anything like that. I'm just moving and allowing my arms to follow. Okay, so now we're going to go to put the left foot forward and pick up your right heel on the toe of your right foot. Same idea here. So notice notice how my knee is almost straight, right? This is straight. And so I'm just dropping a little bit. So what happens is that my weight is dropping right down into my heel. So this way I could just allow everything to get very sung. So my knee doesn't move, it's set. So I'm just nice and easy. And we do it nice and slow like this, so that we can then introduce it into faster movements into more complex movements. But we want to first get the feel of that, of being able to maintain your central equilibrium, very sung, and make this very simple movement where you're moving in this back and forth fashion, relaxed and moving freely from the hip joints. All the weight is in your left leg. Your right leg is very empty. So that thing we're cultivating here is this ability to trust standing on one leg. And for most people, they have plenty of strength in order to be able to stand on one leg, to be supported one leg, but the trust thing gets in the way. They freeze up, and the hip joints tighten up because they're afraid of falling. So then they don't have that ability to move freely from the quad. And this helps to reassure your body mind that bad things are not going to happen just because you're got your weight on one leg. You're on the toe of your back leg here, so it's it's kind of like having training wheels as you're doing that. Okay, now let's go to the back foot. Okay, and feel the heel of your right foot, the inside along the big toe line. You want your left foot, the heel up, and set your knee nice and relaxed, and turn here. So notice that as you're just letting go, and it's very consciously, very deliberately. You're initiating it, you're going through it, and you're eating the chi as you go along. And you can break it down into however small a segment you want in terms of thinking about that, about beginning, middle, and end. But the key is here that you're constantly, it's create, create, create as you're doing this. You're not just plugging in and going along for the ride. You're engaged. There's this conscious, deliberate engagement, this participation in every movement. And as a result, you're able to generate a recurring state of mindfulness. Each time you do that, you're reminding yourself to be mindful, be in the present moment as you're doing it. Yeah. Now, come back to center. And just relax. And now find your three pillars, weight in the heels, knees unlocked. And reach out with your elbows. And just pause and feel into the energy. Feel the flow that is occurring in your body. And as you're in the three pillars, you're also plugging into the big chi. So you're amplifying your available energy considerably. So the question becomes just how much can you tolerate at a given time? When are you full? And that's why we let go for the energy periodically, just to be able to start over again. And just feel into that state of being, that state of awareness you're in right now. And notice the effect of that superconsciousness, the insubstantial effects of it. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next one. And this one, we're going to shoulder width. And the idea here is to sink. And we're going to do exactly the same as we did before, only this time you're going to turn. And again, your arms are just sort of hanging. You turn, and then you go and you turn the other side. So we set the ball, the heel of the foot, set the knee, and then turn. And set the heel, set the knee, and then turn. So there's a pattern that we are getting. Then you can turn and then turn back, just like we were doing it before, and then go to the other leg and turn and turn and turn. So you're just letting your arms relax. And so this way you are able to go back and forth and make it up as you go along in terms of how far, how long you want to stay on one leg. You can go back and forth, 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can go and spend, several turns on one leg and go to the other leg. So we've taken that same process that we did in the last exercise, and we upped the difficulty level just a skosh. And so instead of just being in one leg fixed, we're back and forth. So what we're doing now is we're training the qua to be able to move freely between legs. So we can be supported in my right leg, supported my left leg, and supported my right, back to my left, back to my right. And this way you're not tempted as much to freeze up and tighten up your qua and your hip joint and lock up your movements. This way it keeps it nice and fluid. There's a lot of energy that gets produced by connecting up your legs to your torso. The qua is where that happens. There's acupuncture points right here in your qua. It's called the gushing chi or the thrusting chi. I think it's stomach 30 maybe, and that is, it feeds the energy going up your spine and into your brain. So, but it connects you up to your feet and to that big chi that's coming in through your feet. So there is this movement, this is energy exchange between the feet and the torso. And you're also training your body to be able to move back and forth so that one leg is substantial, then the other leg is substantial, but you're not locking up in order to get there. And you're not jutting your butt side to side to make that happen either. You're keeping your center along the medial line there, just like that. Boom, we're going into the other leg, medial line. So each time we're centering there. Good. And back to center. And find your 3 pillars again. Into the heels, knees are unlocked, get very soon. Reach up at the crown of your head, tuck in your chin, reach slightly with your elbows and open up your shoulder joints. Relax your lower back. And pause and feel into the energy that's getting generated and circulated. And this is the hun part here. We're eating the chi. This is the soul. It's eating the chi and letting it go. Good. So next exercise is this one. The idea here is to reach up with your wrist. It's called Song Gong. Is the exercise. You reach out like that. So and then you come down like this. So the idea is you're reaching with your wrist. So your shoulder's not involved. You're pulling your arm into place via your wrist, reach out, and then coming down. And so then you go to the other side, you reach out. And notice that my elbow is down. So what I'm not doing is this. I'm not turning, so lifting my elbow like this, right? It's like this. The elbow stays down as the wrist comes up. So big mistake that people make is they kind of they turn like this as they're coming up, and that's just going to tighten up your shoulders. We want to do the opposite. We want to get rid of shoulder tension by doing this. And so the idea is you're going to, with both hands, you're going to come up, reach up like this, and then sink down, and one hand comes in front and the other hand goes in back. And then we go back to center, reach up, and turn the other way. And reach up and turn. So notice that as you're doing this, your arms are super relaxed. It's almost like you're a marionette, you're being pulled up by your wrists. And turn. Your arms are almost falling down. They're so soon. So the primary objective for this thing is to really let go of shoulder tension, because this is such a big problem for so many of us, and that we get shoulder tension leading to shoulder injury. And so getting that, and I developed this exercise just because it or adopted this exercise. Actually learned it from someone back in the way back in about 30 years ago. But because it was helping to rehabilitate my shoulder, which I was having many injuries from various sports and push hands and things like that. But just being able to do this. So the other thing we're doing is we're coordinating this qua action here. We're spiraling down, keeping our center, right? The center, we're centering and on the medial line. So we're getting this action here of being able to turn, coordinate the arms with the qua, with the feet, getting this whole system together. And relax. And find your 3 pillars again. Notice the quality of energy that got created with that exercise. It's a little different than the other ones. I found my energy in my arms, I'm feeling a little more riled up than the previous exercises. And just feel into that and just allow that to assimilate back to eating the chi. And okay, now we're going to open the jade pillow gate. And so I keep talking about this, but just for those who are just tuning in, the idea is right here at the base of your skull, particularly at this point right here where your spine connects up with your occiput, that big bone there at the back of your head. And so you can put your finger there and just feel that point there. There's a hollow there at the point. This whole area is, can be called the jade pillow, but specifically we're focusing, bearing down on that one point. That's where your topmost vertebra, your atlas, connects up with your occiput. So we're going to pivot from that point. So start with your finger there, just lift your chin and reach down with it, and pause, 2, 3. So just, you can see here, what I'm not doing is this. I'm not moving from the bottom of my neck. I'm moving just from the very top, right? Moving right here from the topmost vertebra. So you can reach up and then drop your chin and feel that stretch along the back of your neck. And you open up the jade pillow gate. As I mentioned before, this allows the Jingshen, this is your spirit of vitality, to rise. So something we started to generate here with this thrusting chi, which kind of shoots the chi up your penetrating vessel and into your brain. And so the Jingshen comes up and it feeds your brain and nourishes your brain with this, with the chi. So reach down and just pause there and feel that. So you can think, Shen Yi Hun, and just pause and eat the chi. And you can let that go, and now just kind of use your own proprioception to feel that pivot. We want to learn how to pivot from that topmost part, because that is the most efficient way of moving your head. If you're used to sticking your head out like this, and there's this bowling ball, this 8-pound bowling ball that's kind of being pulled by gravity down, and it's going to create problems in your spine and your neck and your cervical vertebrae as you get along. So you want to raise your chin, raise your head, tuck in your chin. And this, as a martial artist, is also like as basic martial arts that you tuck in your chin so that you don't get tagged. Your chin sticking out like that, you're a target. So you have this, but it also makes you stronger if you do that. Okay, so now I'm going to reach out. I'm reaching out with my right arm. You can reach out with either arm. And you're going to reach out to the side and reach your head in the opposite direction. So what you want to do is feel this elongation, this stretch. It goes down your neck, down your shoulder, down your arm. And feel that. And then move your head around a little bit and really feel that where it does you the most good. And then you can move your arm. I'm going to move mine down a little bit and feel what that feels like. And then move my head around. And so you're exploring here. Now I'm going to rotate my forearm and feel that, because that's a different set of connections. So we're not just talking muscles here, we're also talking connective tissue. And we develop habits through experience, through injury, trauma, whatever, so that we constrict our movement as we go through life. And what this is doing is this kind of rearranging the furniture there a little bit and breaking up some of the adhesions in your connective tissue. Very gently Breathe and let go and just feel that extension there. And just let your arm come down and notice my arm feels like my right arm feels like it's substantially longer than my left. And we're going to do that over on this side now. Reach out and reach to the other side. Same idea here. You're exploring what that feels like to move your arm in different places so that you can see where it's sticky. You can tell where it's sticky because it kind of won't feel great. And so you don't force it, you just kind of nibble at the edges. Yeah. And just move your arm around, open up your shoulder, open up your neck, and really get that feeling there. So we're creating some length there in the shoulder and the arm and the neck. And come back to center. Just pause a moment and feel into that. So you're going to eat the chi. We're going to feed our soul. Good. Now, this time we're going to rotate the head. Big, create some circles, and you're just exploring the range of motion. It's the same idea here. You're going to find adhesions along the way where your connective tissue is stuck together. And you're not going to force anything. You're just going to gently explore that. You may find a pocket there. You say, oh, I'm going to back that up and go back and forth over that one spot there until that lets go. It's really a process of just placing your head in a position and then letting go of some of the tension there. Now reverse it to the other direction. Feel into any areas that are stuck and just nice and easy. Explore that. Good, and back to center. Eat the chi. Okay, next one is turkey head. This will be the last one today. So the idea is you're going to just push your face forward, again pivoting at that from that topmost vertebra. So you're pushing your face forward and pulling back, pushing forward and pulling back. So just extend your face and pull back. We're opening up that jade pillow gate with this as well. Pull back, just hold for a couple of beats and then go back forward and then come back and hold for a couple of beats. Good, and back to center. Find your three pillars. Eat the chi. Allow that to circulate throughout your body. Let the energy do what it needs to do, whatever corrections bring about optimum health and functioning, optimum healing. Now step in, take a deep breath, inhale, move the balls of your feet, feel the yang, and then sink into your heels and disappear the chi, throw it all away. Dissolve into the emptiness. Relax and let go. Please have a seat. Questions, comments? Jonathan.
Two thoughts. Thought number one, I've taken an interest in Parkinson's of late, as you know, a leading neurological disease, which I understand is due in part to an atrophying of the brainstem. So this idea of nourishing the brainstem, what a thing not to nourish. What a thing to cut off nourishment from for 70 years. You know, I mean, it's just, it it adds a whole nother dimension to this, you know, just feel good or, you know, coherence or something.
You put it that way.
Time to nourish.
To nourish,
The second thing is, you know, this sweet spot, this you arrive with all of this coherence and equilibrium, and I realize, you know, and I know I've said this something like this before. It's just not the center of my source of action. It's almost like I've arrived at a resting place, and it's almost as if, I mean, I don't know what action's going to take place from that. I mean, you know, what do I do? Go direct traffic or something? I don't know. It's like I just realize how much what I do is like coming from this, and so to be in this, I'm not saying it's anything but passive. You're maintaining it in a very active way. You know, I'd say you'd say even super conscious way, but it's a whole nother dimension of where you're going to be acting from. It's a whole different starting place, if you will. It seems to me.
That's a really good point. You make, because there is a big confusion, even in the medical community, about that there's this fusion of the sympathetic nervous system with the fight, flight, freeze response, with the stress response, and so that in order to initiate action, people go to that, and it's pretty widespread. I'd say it's the vast majority of people, you know, can relate to what you're saying there, and so your point is well taken there, and that is we are training how to move, how to engage, how to do from this sweet spot, which is the key to, I think, to internal martial arts. Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's great. Good observation. Valerie.
I got to say that I really love delving into each of these very simple, they seem very simple exercises, but the depth that you can go to, it'll never cease to amaze me. You know, it's just like doing Tai Chi and being sung and all of that. It's always, which is the good thing, it's always, oh, there's that, and there's that. So going through each of these, I mean, you know, what are we at? A third of the way through, not even maybe a third of the way through. I love that. I love going very slow so that you can pay attention to each thing that you're doing and really feel it. You know, that's where to me, you're getting the most benefit, is to really feel it instead of just, okay, I'm doing this, I'm turning here. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir here, but that's
No,
why
thank you for mentioning, because this is something that needs to be said. You know, exactly what you're talking about there. And that's, you know, that's really where it does you the most good. And it also, you know, what puts you in a super conscious state and gets your chi moving and does all the good stuff that we're looking for. Cool. Lynn.
That was lovely. In this one, when you stretching out your arm and turning your head, when I turned this arm over, and this is the arm that had the surgery and all the stasis all summer, there was just this pop right in the inside of the elbow, where something that had not been loose became loose in a slightly surprising and minimally painful, but really good way. So that was a nice little add-on.
Yeah. You're protecting your arm there for months, and oh, okay, time to let that go.
It's okay now. I can work. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Cool. Scott.
So yeah, I'm definitely feeling the all one chi right now. It's really nice.
Nice.
All of it just blended together into this really nice internal massage almost.
Yeah, it makes me smile.
Something I know, I guess it was yesterday, kind of talking about what Jonathan was talking about. I was at Costco, and my pet peeve is people that don't know how to drive a stupid shopping cart. You know, up one side, down the other. It's really not rocket science, but some people just don't get it. And it was driving me nuts. And I just kind of just dropped into that place. I was like, I'm making myself nuts here over nothing. And I just dropped into that all one, you know, that coherence. And then everything was fine.
Bravo.
Making your way through Costco with subtleties. Very nice.
It's good. It's really good practice. Really good Tai Chi practice.
It is. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you all so much. It's been a whole lot of fun. And
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you, Maria.
Love you,
Thank
Maria.
you, Maria.
Thanks, producer.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
There we go.
Bye bye.